Welcome to Mr.Podcast, a podcast where we explore how people actually work. So, for this series of videos, I'll be inviting students, professionals, founders, and creators to explain to us how they manage their personal and professional life with AI and how they implement AI in their workflows. So, for this first video, I'll be with my friend Jonathan, who is a student in computer engineering and he's into vulnerability and exposure management. He will explain to us how he works with AI, what are the limitations we can add to our workflows, especially when working with sensitive data and AI. So, welcome, Jonathan.
Thanks for inviting me. It's really a great pleasure to be here. So, guys, I'm Jonathan Loic. I'm working into vulnerability and exposure management in cybersecurity for a company in Germany. Let's get into it.
So, I'll ask you a series of questions and you tell me, you don't need to go too much into details, but you tell me how you work with AI and all these different questions I'll ask you. So, for the first questions is, how will you explain vulnerability and exposure management to someone outside of this space?
Okay, basically, to explain you vulnerability and exposure management, you first have to understand that it is two different stuff. You have vulnerability management, which is all about finding and accessing vulnerabilities, like finding and assessing security weaknesses in software or systems before an attacker.
Yes.
And we're talking about exposure management. It is an overall perspective of a company risk, like knowing all the exposed asset of a company and trying to find which of these one is the most important and how can an attacker actually reach it, and trying to find a way in which you can reduce, I would say, the attack surface for the attacker.
Wow, looks very interesting.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced an attack?
Yeah, sure.
And how did you manage that?
Actually, that is what I was still doing. I was still a cyber analyst. I was working with Sentinel-1, which is an ADR, XDR tool used for protecting endpoint and extended systems. So if I have to speak about something small, it was basically talking about a ransomware. Like, it's a malicious file, it's a malicious software that actually encrypts all your data.
Okay.
Yeah. But they were actually further, but those are much more like complicated ones. But which one was the most easiest I could
And
easily
did you
explain.
regain control of the
Yeah, you
system?
could actually do it because Sentinel-1 had an option for it that we can actually use.
Okay, interesting. So we'll move to our second question, which is, how did you get into this field while studying computer engineering?
Okay, how I get into cybersecurity, I started first YouTube videos. I was quite interested into the field. So I started with a small introduction into cybersecurity. I tried also to know what is like a small introduction into technical hacking, into cloud computing. And I was like, okay, I think I really want to get into this field. So I went also for a certification whereby I tried to study some material courses for CompTIA. I started following guys on internet, trying to see what they're actually doing every day, and that is how actually I get into the field. I learn by doing.
Okay, and was it a dream of you young children when you see films, you see hackers, all this deeper in the dark with your the lights and all those stuffs?
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Like when we speak about who is an hacker to people, they most of times think about a person in a dark room with a like green background with scripting code like running, but it's not always actually that. It can be that, it can be fun. You can also do that, but yeah, that was a dream for me to actually get into this field. I'm really happy to be into it today.
Okay, nice that you love it. And what does a normal working and university day looks like for you?
What do you mean, like a normal working university day? Like, how does a day,
Yes,
how was my day goes when I'm going to work?
yes,
Like my routine, or basically what I do at the job
yes.
site?
First of all, do you have work and studies on the same day?
Yes, I'm actually working in Germany. They call it like student. You can actually work 20 hours for a company, and then the rest of the time you can go to school.
Does it happen that you work and you study the same day?
Yeah, it happens. It's also happened that you may have an exam in the morning and you're working in the evening, or maybe you're working in the morning and you're having an exam in the afternoon.
And
It
how do you
happens.
manage that?
I think it's more about your time management. Like when you schedule those a fixed time, when you know you're at work, you're working, but the majority of time is basically occupied by school because you need to learn stuff, you need to do exercises, this type of stuff.
Do you hold a schedule for that? Do you have a calendar?
Yeah, always. Always. I think I try to be a little bit strategic, whereby I try maybe to plan a week before.
Okay. Have you ever been late to school because of work or late to work because of school?
Yes, at the moment you can quite be overwhelmed because I'm not only going to school or going to work, I'm also maybe having some summer activities. Like I would try also maybe to go to the gym, do some contents, try to
Mm.
do a podcast like you, this type of stuff. So at the moment you can feel, I would say, trapped, whereby you are overwhelmed by a lot of things and need to figure out how you are going to actually manage them without being trapped.
Okay. And what is the name of your podcast?
Oh, the name of my podcast is Beaware.
Okay, we will leave a link to the description for Beaware.
Thanks, man.
Okay, so we'll move to the next question, which is how do you decide what deserves your attention?
Actually, when I'm working,
Yes.
how what deserve my attention? This question is, it actually depends because in my team we have like a leader, like our senior is the one telling us maybe if we receive an incident, then we know okay, this one is much more important as compared to the other one.
Okay.
Like we have like a ticketing system, like maybe I don't know if you have find a vulnerability in this software, they may send us, oh, we could find a vulnerability in this software, it is an incident of level 1. So you know, okay, I need to actually put my whole focus on this one. So it
Okay.
depends. They may have some days when I know, okay, just random days, writing some scripts, configuration management, patching, those type of stuff. Yeah, I can actually quite arrange my work with them. But sometimes the ticketing system can send us maybe high priority tasks that need to be done
Okay.
because they actually affect business activities.
Okay, I see. And do you write your tickets down, the steps you're going to follow, or do you only have your ticketing system, you go ticket by ticket, or do you have to be organized because there are people who want to be organized, write everything down and other stuff? Do you do that?
Like, what do you mean? Like, when I'm solving a ticket, if I like write everything I did on that ticket for them?
Yes.
No, basically for them, what is important is just like, what was the problem and how do you solve it? The step-by-step procedure of how I did it is actually discussed with my team.
Mhm.
That's it.
Okay, so next question. Where do you keep tax and university material, works and personal plans?
Where do I keep tasks?
Yes, do you have a central note system
Yeah,
where you keep
I
everything?
like writing. I have a
Mm.
book. I like
Okay,
writing down stuff because when I write, I think better.
okay,
Yes, I like writing things down, but I also use a calendar because you know the majority of our time we are on the phone. So this notification from my phone, like, okay, you have this rendezvous at this period of time, this at this period of time. Yeah, it also helped me. But to be honest, I writing my stuff down.
and do you have a note-taking app?
Yeah, I'm actually trying to use Mr.Speech that you're
Yeah.
aware of. It's quite interesting.
For those who don't know, Mr. Speech is a voice productivity workspace that allows you to dictate anywhere. So you don't need to say, oh, I'll do it later because I have to write it down. You just pick and it organizes everything correctly formatted as you would like it to be, a centralized workstation. And you can also connect it to your day-to-day AI for it to register the notes for you. After brainstorming, you can save important information. And the most important part is meeting. You can transcribe meeting, generate Kanban boards to keep everything organized. So there will be a link in description if you want to try it below. So next question, what part of your life becomes disorganized most easily?
Okay. What part of my life? I would say, what part of my life? I say love part is quite the most difficult one. Actually, my love life, I would say it.
And why is it disorganized?
Because I also have my stuff on the side, and the majority of time you get stuck doing all of those things, and then at the moment you're just like tired. And if I could not find a good girl, something like that, sometimes you don't have sufficient energy even to just go out and try to meet people, maybe because you're trying to get some things done. And but it is something that really important that you really need to take into consideration.
Okay. Which AI tools are already part of your real workflow?
I was like, I use ChatGPT.
Or you use ChatGPT? Only ChatGPT?
I'm not a cloud guy. I'm not a cloud guy. Gemini also.
Okay. And do you use coding tools like Codex, Cloud
Yeah,
Code,
yeah,
and
yeah. Actually, Codex no, because I don't allow AI to control my computer.
but you can also use it for normal like Cloud Code?
Nah, I'm not that type.
Okay. And do you do in your cybersecurity work, do you do scripting or you're most of software guy?
No, I would say I'm not like software oriented,
Mhm.
but I also do scripting, writing Python stuff, batch processing, this type of stuff. Yeah, I do it. You can use an AI to basically help you out to figure out like a step-by-step method on how you can actually implement it, and then try to understand what the AI is doing, or try ask the AI
how it can help you actually to basically understand what you're trying to do before you can try to implement it. And then when it doesn't go, or maybe you don't know where the error is coming from, you can then ask the AI, but don't leave the AI to do
Okay.
your work.
For people who want more insight, can you tell example of a script, for example, that you can use in cybersecurity? What is the whole of the
I would
script?
just say like monitoring tools, monitoring script. Like for example, let me say you have a security center,
Mhm.
and maybe you're trying maybe to know the numbers of scans that you're having per day, this type of stuff, or maybe the number of scans that fail.
Mhm.
When I'm talking about scans, I'm basically speaking about vulnerability scans, like the scans that will actually find security weaknesses in system or software. And by writing this type of script, you can actually get the summary at the end of the day or at a specific period of time, whereby it will tell you maybe at 10 p.m. if you configure it to send you a note every 10 p.m.
Mhm.
Okay, at 10 p.m. it will send you maybe a list of all the failed scans that can easily help you for troubleshooting.
Is this what we call a cron job?
Cron job is basically about on a command line
Mhm.
when you try to automate a job, when you actually try to automate a task or a script on the command line. That's where I think you can speak about a cron job.
Okay, so next question. What is one task AI genuinely performs better than you?
But better than me, but like the majority of the time, I would say coding. I would say
Okay.
coding.
And if he performs better than you, how do you keep up with the response? Like, what happens when you receive a response? Do you check with your common knowledge? And what happens if you don't understand the script it's given to you?
The problem is actually about also the prompt what you're trying to give into to the AI.
Mhm.
Basically, in cybersecurity, you just tell the AI, oh, write me a script to monitor this system. You need first to understand the system, and now from there you can actually tell AI, there's this system. I know it is like this, like this, like this. I will need a script that is doing A, B, but not C. The AI has to take the information or has to input the information in this specific way, this type of stuff. So basically, after understanding the system, you can actually write good scripts. That's the stuff.
Okay, so it will be easy for you to understand what the AI
Yeah,
wants.
what the AI is doing. First, try to understand what you are doing before
Mhm.
asking the AI. Like, understand maybe the software you're actually using.
Will you ask someone new in this field to learn with AI or avoid AI at the beginning? Or what's your opinion on that?
AI is it's really nice tool because it can easily help you to gain an overview of a topic in a fraction of seconds. But the problem is you don't have to be dependent on
Mhm.
it. Ask AI like, I'm new to this topic. What do you think I need to know? Start explaining stuff and then try to make some deep search on those stuff and try to build some project.
Mhm.
AI can help you to develop a step-by-step method on how to study something. Yes, but don't actually say AI, oh, I'm trying to write this script. Do this script for me. Then copy paste. Don't do that.
Next question. Because you work in cybersecurity, what information will you never give to an AI system?
Credentials, good stuff. My password, even my username, those type of stuff. Like my command line, like taking some stupid screenshot with my API keys, those type of stuff. I'll basically not give it to AI. As I said, I'm not a guy that is actually promoting I would say, giving AI full access to your computer. Yes.
Okay, so you don't use computer use, like, because there's these new functions of cloud where you can having click on icons and other stuff.
Yeah,
You
those
never
stuff.
do.
I don't actually allow the AI to do it.
Because during this process, it can maybe encounter.
That's also the stuff. You don't always know what the AI is doing.
Okay.
The AI is quite smarter than us, to be honest.
And what will you give as advice to someone who accidentally gave his API key to AI?
You could just go and change it immediately.
So you should rotate the API key.
Yeah, just try go and change it.
Okay. So next question, has AI make students more capable or you think more dependent?
The problem is that I think it's a 50-50 question
Mhm.
because, well, if you're a hardworking guy, you will know how to use AI. But if you're a really lazy guy, you also know how to use AI.
Mhm.
The hardworking guy will really try to perfectionate his skills,
Mhm.
but the lazy guy will actually try to make AI do his work. That would be the problem. So I would say, but today people are most of the time becoming much more AI dependent.
Mhm.
Like all the stuff they receive, they don't actually want to think first. The
Mhm.
first like AI, this is what I have to do. How can I do it? If you're always that type of mind oriented, I don't think you will be capable of understanding what you're always doing because the AI will directly give you an instant answer. And it is not always right what the AI is telling you.
And do you think you're someone dependent?
No, I'm not a dependent guy.
So what happens if you don't know something? How do you proceed?
Like I say, I can ask AI to get a quick overview of the stuff. Then I can go maybe on YouTube, like the old
Mhm.
way, go and Stack Overflow, this type of stuff.
And what happened if you didn't find what you're looking for?
You always find something. I think you can just like find nothing. I think you always find something. And then from there you can now start using AI, try to build something much more like Opera, but I think you always find something.
Okay, so next question. What will you recommend a student who wants to get into the cybersecurity space?
Oh, okay. If I have to recommend you something, guys, I would say learn Python. Python will get you paid. Learn Python, go for networking stuff, go for IT stuff, like basically IT support stuff, like understanding maybe how can I say, learn some the parts of the computer, learn your computer, basic IT foundation, networking foundation, OC model, really important, that one, and Python. Understand how to interact with command line, learn Linux, even Windows if you want, PowerShell if you want, because they are because they're actually good for scripting. Yeah, I was actually asking to go for it first, so that it should actually have strong foundation in cybersecurity.
Do you obligatory need to know how to code to use to be inside the cybersecurity
No,
domain?
cybersecurity is a quite broad field.
Mhm.
There are many fields that include when you're talking about GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. It's basically documentation stuff.
And what happens if you don't know how to code but you want to be into cybersecurity? Is it an option for
Yeah,
you?
there are options. There are different parts in cybersecurity. Don't always need to learn how to code.
Can you give an
I
example?
would say like GRC, but this type of, I would say, position are quite upper positions that you actually need skills from lower position before getting there. Because before telling somebody, you need to have you implemented this. The person can just say, yes, I implemented it. But if you're actually a good GRC that went through the different steps, you could actually prove to the person if you actually install it or not. This type of stuff.
Okay.
Because you already know how the stuff works.
Okay, interesting. And for our last questions, what does a productive life means to you personally?
Life. I'm still young, but I'll say a productive life is about getting the right thing done at the right moment. Yeah, like putting the input when you need to put it, getting the right thing done at the right moment. Don't do a lot of stuff. Do the important things you know you need to do at the right moment. That's what the productive life will make you look at.
Okay. And do you think you're far from your goal? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Do you think you're close to it or you're far to it?
Only gods can tell me. I can actually know. I can decide on my path, but I don't actually know how far am I from my goals. You see, I'm just there on the right way. I may be close to my goals, but it's a long run. Life is about a marathon. Don't watch it. I don't want to say I am close and then something happens.
Okay. Talking about marathons, do you do sports, running sports?
Yeah. I like doing sport. I did some marathons and also calisthenic stuff. Yeah.
Do you have some advice for people who want to do a marathon but have maybe fear or don't know how to prepare for a marathon?
The first thing is you learn by doing. You know, a marathon you will need to learn you will need to run 42 kilometers. So just try to first get the first 500 meters in and then continue from there. Just first try to go outside and get it run.
So step by step.
Step by step is always the best.
You leave
advice.
your house, you run 500 meters, you
Just
come
try.
home.
Just get started.
Okay, so the most important thing is to get started.
Yes, after 500 meters, you can say, okay, for a 2K, then a 5K, then a 10K, then a half marathon, then 30 kilometers, then a full marathon.
And what is your answer to procrastination?
Answer to procrastination. Acquire to be a little strategic. When I have a problem, majority of people will say they need to get some rest. I don't think it works like that. You do, then you feel. That means when I have a problem, I try directly to know if there's a solution that I can implement. And when I find the solution, I directly start execution about it. Then I feel better while doing it. I would just say, do the first step. Just the first step. Don't think about just do the next step. Just continue doing the next step.
So it's a very powerful word. Just start.
Just start.
A sentence.
Get started.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like our tradition in this podcast will be everybody have to leave a code before going.
Okay,
So
cool.
do you have a code for us?
I'm still young, you're asking me for codes, but I would say I heard it from the CEO of Telegram. If you want to reach your full potential, maintain clarity of mind, and stay away from addicted substances, instant gratification is not worth your future.
So instant gratification is not what your future. And if you want to stay in,
If you want to attain your full potential, maintain clarity of mind and stay away from addicted substances.
okay, very powerful quote by Pavel Jourov, I think.
Pavel Jourov, the CEO
Yeah.
of Telegram,
Very interesting character.
a very interesting guy.
Yes, someone who very inspires a lot of people. You can be a sport guy and still be high into IT and also be very intelligent.
Yeah,
What people usually dissociate, but
it
can
goes
be-
together.
Yeah. So thank you, Jonathan,
Thank you,
and
man.
welcome and goodbye also to the
Okay.
podcast, Mr. Podcast.
Okay, thanks, guys. See you.